talk about SEO and hopefully will make your online visibility, well, easy busy. Eva Yorca, so your speaker for today's webinar. I'm a content marketing specialist, so I'm excited to guide you through today's session and share valuable insights with you. I hope it. Okay, now, before we dive into today's session, I'd like you to join me in a quick exercise of abstraction, okay? Imagine with me for a moment that the internet is like a vast planet covered largely by an enormous and huge ocean. In this ocean, there are many islands, each representing a website indexed by Google. Sailing across this ocean are boats filled with people, potential visitors, looking to land on these islands to achieve various goals, filling out forms, subscribing to newsletters, donating, or engaging in other meaningful interactions. Over and above this planet, we have Google acting as a satellite. It sends out drones, which we call crawlers, to explore and investigate these islands. These crawlers assist user experience, identify keywords, and gather various types of data, categorizing and indexing the information to ensure people can find exactly what they are looking for as quickly as possible. With this imagery in mind, today's session is going to equip you with SEO strategies focus on understanding and optimizing within the different categories Google's use to classify and evaluate websites. Specifically, we will discuss keyword research, content analysis, URL inspection, on-page optimization, technical SEO, backlinks, content strategy, competitor analysis, tracking and metrics, and updates and maintenance. So let's start by understanding the basics of how search engines work. A search engine operates in three core stages: crawling, indexing, and ranking, and responding to user queries. Automated programs, now as bots or spiders, explore the web continuously, indexing content into massive databases and ranking these pages based on relevance and authority. Okay? All right. Imagine search engines like Google have these little drones explorers, right? So these robot explorers, we call them spiders or bots, okay? They basically wander around the internet. They click on links just like you do, going from website to website, and they read what's on each page. Then they send all that info back home to Google's big computer. Then Google's big computer take all that info and put it in a giant, super organized library like a big index. So when you type something into Google, it doesn't have to search the whole internet right then and there. It just look up the answer in its own library. And when you do search, Google doesn't just show you every page with your words. It's smart. It looks through its library, finds the pages that are most related, and then figures out which ones are the best. It considers things like how good the website is and how well the page answers your question, and then shows you the best ones first. Okay. When people search online, they use different tools, right? According to Statista, here's the quick rundown. So Google is the big one, like super popular worldwide. Then you've got Bing, which is from Microsoft. Yahoo is still around, a bit older, but still used. Yandex is big in Russia. DuckDuckGo is for people who really care about privacy. And Baidu is the go-to search engine in China. So, how search engines work? Super simple. Basically, it's like this. All the information on the internet gets collected. Then the search engine sorts it all out and decides what's important. And then you, the user, get to see that organized info. And now about those spiders we talk about. Think of them as little web reading robots. Okay, they go to websites, they are allowed to visit, read the text and stuff, and save it. But they can't go everywhere. They can get into private areas. They won't find pages that aren't linked to anything, and they can't peek into databases. For example, uh, legal policies. Okay, why does this matter? Well, understanding this process helps you optimize your NGO's website effectively. Simple, but put if your site isn't indexed by search engines, it's virtually invisible, okay, to potential supporters or visitors or donors, whatever, okay? So I am Google, therefore I am. Okay, so when you search on Google, you'll see a few different things. First, there are paid ads at the top of or side. Those are like commercials that company pay for, so they show up first. Then you have the organic results, which are the regular website links that Google thinks are the best answer to your search. And then there are other search filters, like if you search for a restaurant, for example, you might see a map, pictures, or reviews right there on the search page. Those are all extra ways Google give you information without even clicking on a website. Our first activity is all about getting familiar with search results. Okay, so to quick things off, I want everyone to open up Google on their computer or phone and type it. What is an NGO? So take a moment to look at the results. What do you see? Okay, are there ads at the top or not? Any special features? For example, definition boxes like here. Which websites are showing up first? Okay. And then we can try with other keyword like types of membership in NGO. No? So the same exercise, how are these results different or any similarities? Just is to give us clues about what kind of content Google likes and what our audience is looking for. All right, so why do we even care about getting our website to the top of Google? Well, it's simple. The higher your website shows up, the more people are going to click on it. Just think about it. When you search for something, you usually click on one of the first few links, right? So being at the top means way more people seeing your site. There's just one little way to see. Sometimes the very last link on the page gets a few extra links, but mostly higher is better. Now let's explore keyword search. Okay. Keywords are the terms users type into search engines. Like we did it. When looking for information, effective keyword research involves identifying relevant phrases your audience is searching for. You can use tools such as Google Keyword Planner or Ubersuggest to discover high-impact keywords. Okay, you have here Google Keyword Planner. This is SEMrush with this tool called Keyword Magic Tool. It has a free plan, okay, and a paid plan. Okay, but you can use the free plan. And the other tool, yes, it is a Keyword Magic Tool, and you can choose the language. Okay, and the other free tool is Uber Suggest to discover high impact keywords. This one, you can discover new keywords here, and you can choose the language here, and the location gives you a lot of ideas of keywords about your sector or about some topic. When someone types something into Google, they're not just throwing words out there. They've got a reason, an intent. And that intent really matters for whether they'll actually do something on your website, like donate or volunteer. Mm? Think of it like a funnel. At the top, you've got people just looking for info. What is an NGO? They're just getting knowledge. Then they might start comparing best NGOs for whatever. That's commercial intent. Then they might be looking for a specific website. Red Cross official site, for example, navigational intent. And at the bottom of the funnel, they are ready to act. Donate to save the children. Transactional intent. So the closer they are to that bottom, the more likely they are to convert, to take an action. So if your content matches the intent at each stage, you are going to see way more people actually doing what you want them to do. Okay? Okay, so here's the thing about keywords. Hmm? It's not just about picking any word you see people might type. It's about really thinking like your audience are figuring out why they are searching. If you can match your keywords to what they are actually trying to find, you are not just getting more clicks, you are getting the right people, the ones who are actually interested in what your NGOs does. Specifically, aim to use long tail keywords, okay, to attract the right audience. Say, I'm gonna explain it. So what we talk about the long tail theory in keywords, it's really about thinking beyond those super short, super popular words. Sure, a lot of people might search for NGO, but that's really broad. You are going to get a lot of competition. Instead, think about the more specific phrases people might use, like how to volunteer at NGO in Madrid, okay? Or best NGOs for environmental work with children, for example. Those longer, more detailed, I'm sorry, more detailed searches are what we call long tail keywords. And even so fewer people search for each one individually, together they can bring in a ton of really target traffic, people who are actually looking for what your NGO offers. When you are thinking about keywords, okay, you really want to dig in and think about those longer, more specific phrases, okay? Long tail keywords that people use when they are looking for something really particular, okay? Tools like SEMrush, as I told you, can help with that when what's working for them, what's bringing in traffic. Here's a quick practice, okay? First task for today in this webinar, I want you to start thinking about the keywords that really connect with your audience. It's about finding those words and phrases that people use when they are looking for an NGO like yours or whatever you need to focus, okay? So create a list of about 10 15 keywords. Think about your NGO's vision, okay, objectives, costs, your goals, and what you are really good at. Okay. And remember, try to use some of the tools we have talked about. They will really help you find the right words. To get you started, think about things like your mission, your actions, and how you are trying to reach. So, for example, if you work with environmental issues or young people, some keywords could be environmental volunteering, or climate change education, or donate to save the rainforest, whatever. Here you have some categories and examples of keywords, okay? But you have to choose your own keywords. For talking about content analysis, it's essential to evaluate your existing website content for quality, relevance, and structure. Ensure your content is original, very, very important, and avoid duplication at all costs, as this negatively affects your website's ranking. Imagine if you had the same paragraph or even the same title on multiple pages on your website. Google gets confused and it can hurt your rankings. It's like having two copies of the same book in a library. It just mess things. Okay, we will use tools like Screening Frog. Okay, you can see there Screening Frog, Copyscape, or a Siteliner for helping detect duplicate content. You can see at the corner of the screen the concept keyword density. It's a pretty simple concept, but it's important to understand. Basically, keyword density is just the percentage of times a specific keyword or phrase appears on a web page compared to the total number of words on that page. So if you have a 100-word blog post and your keyword shows up 5 times, your keyword density is 5%. Okay? People used to try to stuff their pages with keywords to trick search engines, but Google's gotten a lot smarter. And now doing that can actually hurt your rankings. The goal is not to hit some magic number. It's more about using your keywords naturally and making sure your content is helpful and relevant to your audience. The perfect percentage is about 2.5%, okay, in for a keyword density. About identification and correction about headings, okay? This is about making your content easy for both people and search engines to understand, okay? Both. Data about using headings. H1s, H2s, H3 to organize your content. Make sure your main heading, the H1, is really clear about what the page is about. And of course, naturally, we wave in those keywords we talk about. We also want to keep our sentences short, break up long paragraph, and use bullet points and numbers to make things easy to scan. People scan all the pages. Ask questions, talk directly to your audience, and don't forget to bold the important stuff. And honestly, don't stress too much about word count, okay? Just make sure you are not making spelling mistakes, okay? This is enough. And about internal linking. How your pages link to each other and how your content is doing on social media. Are you sharing your content? Are people engaging with it? These are all important signals. Internal linking, connecting pages within your website, is equally important for improving user experience and SEO. Additionally, ensure you create a sitemap you can use if you work with WordPress, you can use plugins like Yoast SEO and submit it to Google Search Console for indexing by search engines. You have here the plugin and also two tools like Google XML sitemaps and all-in-one SEO pack. This is also plugins for WordPress. You will want to tell Google about it in Google Search Console. It's like saying, "Hey Google, here's a map of my site. Check it out. Come on." Okay, it's something like that. And don't forget about social media. Okay, very important. Sharing your content on platforms like Facebook, like X, Instagram can bring in a ton of traffic and boost your visibility. It's not just about posting stuff, okay? You need a strategy. How does your social media fit with your overall goals, for example? Okay, or what kind of content are you sharing? Are you using hashtags? These are all important questions to ask. Let's do a quick live SEO audit of a few websites, okay, to really put everything we have talked about it in practice. We used a tool, okay, Google Page Speed Insights, which is super handy for checking how fast a website loads, especially on mobile. Now you can follow along with the websites I am going to show you, okay? Let's take a look at a real website. This is the first SEO case study. It's Autismo Ourense. We ran this website through Google Page Speed Insight, and we can see that the mobile speed needs some work, okay? This web. Basically, it's taking a bit too long to load on phones, which can be really frustrating for visitors. The main issue seems to be some large image and some things shifting around while the page loads. So to fix that, we had want to make those images smaller and get rid of those layout shifts. Now, let's look at some other SEO things. The content itself is pretty good. Okay, it's informative. But we could really boost things by adding more details, maybe some success stories or testimonials. And it's super important to use the right keywords, those phrases people actually type into Google, like autismo support Ourense, for example. Okay, then there's the technical side of things. We need to make sure Google can actually read the website properly. That means having a sitemap, fixing any errors, and using clear URLs. And don't forget, security and XL certificate is a must. This is very important mistake in this web, okay? Pretty big red flag we're seeing here is that this website isn't using a HTTPS. The little padlock in the address bar that tells you it's safe, okay? Without it, any information you type into the site could be seen by anyone snooping around. And these days, Google really pushes secure sites. It's not just a security thing, it's a SEO thing too. So having this one is a must have, not a nice to have. And another thing we notice is that the website cookie banner is a bit limited, okay? It only has an accept button, but to follow the rules, it really needs to have both an accept and a reject button. And ideally, it should have a way for users to customize their cookie settings. It's about giving people a real choice about their privacy, not just making them click accept to use the site. About the content, they need all tests mm, alternative text, descriptions that also include those keywords using heading tags. Okay, H1s, H2s. Okay, helps Google understand the page structure. Very important. Okay, let's go to the second SEO case study. It's ISCO. Let's take a look. One being okay. This is correct. Okay. One big issue with this site is the amount of important text hidden inside images. Okay, this is a real problem for SEO. You see, Google can't read text that's embedded in images. So if your mission statement, your story, your core values are all in images, Google's missing out. Look at that. And this is very, very okay. Look here. Okay. You can see the web. Something really important that we are seeing here is that this NGO is promoting a lot of courses. You can see at the homepage. Okay. Uh, Here you have, okay, see this, you can see the their vision, okay, in a image. So the Google cou- can't read it. So this is not text, it's just image, okay? This NGO has courses, okay, promoting a lot of courses that are really important for the people they help. And what is the problem? The problem is that it's really hard for users to find that information easily. Very, very difficult. So they are missing out on potential students. We need to make those courses much more visible and accessible. And very serious legal issue here. So we going to this one, a form. You can see this form. They don't have a checkbox for users to accept the data privacy policy before submitting forms. Data must have. So we need to add that right away. So very important, this one. Okay. This website is taking a long time to load. You can see very, very slow. This can really frustrate users and hurt your SEO. A major reason for slow loading times is often unoptimized images. And ideally, you want to use modern images, formats like WebP or GPAGs for pictures, and optimized in PNGs for graphics. Okay, make sure your images have the right size for the web. So, search SEO case study, grandes amigos. This website is doing a lot of things right, and see what we can learn from it. So one of the first things that stands up out in is the clarity of their mission. This make it really easy for people to connect with their cause. The website is also well structured, making it easy to navigate and understand. The content is really user focused. They use stories, okay, and pictures to create empathy and show the impact of their work. Okay, very important. And they make it super easy for people to get involved. Okay, look at that. Mm? Um, they also use clear calls to action. Become a volunteer, donate now, okay, which makes it simple for visitors to take the next step. Okay, the website's design is clean and very modern, and it works really well on mobile devices, which is super important these days. Okay, so but even good websites can be improved. Okay, we could look at their loading speed, especially on mobile. Is good, but if we can make it a little bit faster, okay. But it's clear, user friendly, it's transparent, which are all really important for building trust and engagement. We are now moving into a slightly more technical area of SEO. Don't worry, I won't get too deep into the weeds, but I'll give you a quick overview of some important things to keep in mind, okay? For those of you who want to dive deeper, I have included detailed explanation in the presentation materials, so you can learn. So URL inspection, okay, it's crucial to make sure your URLs are clean and easy to understand. Crawling, this is how search engines like Google explore your website. Okay, they send out these little robots to read your pages. So we need to make sure there aren't any users stopping, okay, them from doing their job. Server errors, these are those 500 errors you might see, okay. And also we have the 404 errors. These are the page not found, okay, errors. You can see here. This is the 500, okay. Basically, they mean something is going wrong on the server side, okay, on the server side. On the other hand, you have this is the list of all the errors, and also you can look at 404 errors. These are the page not found. They are a common problem, okay, and meaning that the user's browser made a request that the server didn't understand. And finally, this is the list of the errors, and you have the redirects. These are like little things that tell browser and search engines that a page has moved. Okay, the most common are 301 redirects are the best for SEO because they tell Google the move is permanent and passed along the page's SEO jazz. Okay, and don't forget canonical tags, which are a way to tell Google which version of a page is the official one to avoid duplicate content problems. This one, canonical, redirect. And about one-page optimization, which is all about making your website as search engine friendly as possible. Think of your website like a building, okay? If the foundation is weak, the whole building is shaky. Okay, in SEO, your site's architecture is that foundation. It's how your pages are organized and linked together. A good architecture helps search engines understand what your site is about and helps users find what they are looking for. I've got some screenshots here of a few well-known, okay, NGOs, and you can see how they have structured their websites. They have used clear categories, logical menus, and easy to understand URS. This is what we are aiming for. Let's get into some specific points. First, subdomains versus subdirectories. If you have a blog, for example, you could put it on a subdomain like blog.yourdomain.com or a subdirectory like yourdomain.com/blog. Subdomains can be useful for separating content, but subdirectories are generally better for SEO because they keep all your content under one domain, which helps build authority. Okay. Then we have duplicates and protocol redirects. Okay. If your site can be accessed through both HTTP and HTTPS, that's duplicate content problem. We need to make sure you are using 301 redirects to send everyone to the HTTPS version. Okay. We want to make sure Google is indexing all the right pages. We do this by using the index follow, robots mega tag, and by making sure we are not blocking anything important in our robots.txt file. Okay. One, of course, we need a good sitemap to help Google with all our pages. Speaking of robots, the txt, this file tells search engines which parts of your site not to crawl. For example, legal policy. It's important to review this file and make sure you are not accidentally blocking anything important. About titles. Okay, you can use this useful tool called robots.txt generator, and you can do it online, your own file, robots file. Okay. About title, these are the highlights that show up in search results. They should be short, they should be keyword rich and unique, okay? And meta descriptions, those little snippets, okay, of text under the title, they should be clear. They encourage people to click, okay? Look at these examples. Call to actions, very important. Use attractive CTAs to encourage users to click. For example, discover more, learn how. So let's quickly touch on some important technical SEO points. It's a really practical way to put everything we have talked about into action, okay? So you can do it this checklist, SEO website checklist on your own websites.
Yes, we do have very interesting question from one of the mentors on the station is how does Google treat the content generated by artificial intelligence?
It's a great question. Thank you. Google doesn't penalize AI-generated content just because it's created with AI. What matters most to Google is that the content is high quality, relevant, helpful, and original. Google will treat it just like any other good content. Google cares about the quality and usefulness of your content, not necessarily who or what created it. Okay, we are heading into the final stretch here, so let's quickly touch on some important technical SEO points. Okay, first, technical SEO is about making sure your website is set up in a way that search engines can easily understand and navigate. We are talking about things like using Google Search Console to check out how Google sees your site, making sure your site works well if it's multilingual, speeding up your website with double PO performance optimization, and of course, making sure your site looks great on mobile. Very important. Google Search Console is a free tool from Google that's super useful. It shows you how Google crawls and indexes your site, how you are performing in search results, and if there are any errors. It's a must have. If your website is in multiple languages, you need to make sure you are using the right tags and URLs so Google knows which language to show to which users. When it comes to speed, WPO is key. We are talking about optimizing images and making sure your site loads fast. Google Page Speed Insight is a great tool for this. Here you have the multilingual, okay, SEO-friendly URLs. Use always SEO-friendly URLs that reflect the language and the region. For example, you have the sample here, your domain.com, okay, slash s slash producto for Spanish, and for English, your domain.com slash n slash product, okay. You have the WPO, Web Performance Optimization, and you have here several plugins, okay, different plugins, depends on your specific needs and your site's configuration. These guys are for WordPress, okay, and finally mobile. These days, most people use their phones to browse the web. So your site needs to be mobile friendly. That means responsive design, fast loading times, and easy navigation. So how can we actually see how fast our website loads and what we can tweak for better SEO, better SEO? Okay, well, there is this super handy free tool from Google, Page Speed Insights. And all you gotta do is pop your website's address into the search box. I am going to use one of the websites we looked up earlier during the audit. Okay. Okay. And it will give you the rundown on everything related to how your page works on both computers and phones. Okay. Later on, I am going to encourage you all to give it a try with your own websites. Okay. Here you have all the analysis in mobile. Okay. And in computer. Basically, technical SEO is about making sure, okay, your website is working smoothly behind the scenes. Okay, so Google and your users have a great experience. Okay, here you have all the metrics and analysis in mobile and computer. Okay, and you have the spices for improve, okay, your web. And now let's get a quick practice with technical SEO tools, and I will be using the same web again. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Okay, open up on your own websites on your computer. Take a look at how it appears on your computer screen. Okay, then try viewing it on different mobile devices if you have them. Okay, if you're feeling adventurous, open up your browser's developer tools. Usually, you can do this by right clicking. Okay, usually you can do this by right clicking on the page and selecting inspect or inspect element. This tool lets you see the website code and how it looks on different screen sizes, okay? Are you looking at your website? Make a list of things you notice that could be improved, okay? You can choose the device here, check dimensions, okay? You can choose whatever device, Samsung, you can choose by brand, iPad, okay, whatever. Or select your own dimensions, okay? You can choose, for example, iPad or iPhone, and you can navigate to check what is the navigation of the user in this device, okay? Okay, important questions about this exercise. Are there any layout issues on mobile? Are the images loading slowly? Are the headings structured properly? Very important questions. Okay, you can do it as a task for the next weeks. Okay, let's talk about something that happened outside your website, okay, but has a huge impact on your SEO, backlinks. While we are it, we'll quickly touch on authority metrics, okay? Backlinks are basically links from other websites that point to yours. Think of them as votes of confidence, okay? When other websites link to your site, it tells Google that your content is valuable and trustworthy, okay? Why are they so important? Well, Google sees them as a sign of authority, okay? The more high quality backlinks you have, the better your website will rank. They can also help Google discover and index your new pages faster, okay? And they can drive direct traffic to your site. Plus, they make your website look more credible. Okay, why are they important? I'm not just about the number of backlinks, okay? It's about the quality. That's where authority metrics come in. Here's what Google looks up, okay? Search site quality. A link from a well-known, respected website is way better than a link from some random low-quality site, okay? Content relevance, okay? The website linking to you should be related to your topic. Diversity of sources. You want links from different kinds of websites, not just a bunch from the same place. Okay. Anchor test. The words used in the link should be relevant, but not overly stuffed with keywords. Be careful. Link freshness. Links from websites that are regularly updated are more valuable. So if your SEO work, you will want to analyze your backlinks and focus on getting new high quality links. It's about building your website's reputation across the web. Okay. Let's talk about content strategies, because creating great content is only half the battle, okay? You also need to make sure it's reaching the right people. So first up, you want to build your content strategy around those keywords we talked about earlier, okay? Think about what your audience is searching for and create content that answers the question. Very important. And don't just stick to text. Mix it up with videos and images. That really helps keep people engaged. Okay. Now, here is where things get interesting. No, it's AI tools. We are talking about things like ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, and others. These tools can be super helpful for brainstorming content ideas, generating outlines, and even help you write some of the content itself. Okay, but, and this is very important, don't just rely on AI. Okay, use it as a tool, not a replacement for your own creativity and expertise. Okay. Finally, consistency is key. You can't just post a blog post uh, once a month and expect to see results. You need to develop a regular schedule and stick it to it. Think about creating a content calendar and planning out your post in advance. Okay, very important calendar. The more consistent you are, the more likely you are to buy an audience and improve your SEO. Okay, so let's talk about looking beyond just keywords and really digging into what your competitors are doing. We are talking about competitor analysis. It is not just about stealing their keywords. It is about understanding their whole approach. What are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? So here's a task for you, something to work on in the next few days. Okay, ask yourself this question: how do they make their websites easy to use? Look at their design, their navigation, how fast their site loads, and if it is accessible. Do they have chat box or anything like that? Okay. How do they guide users through their website? Look at their site structure, how they organize their pages, and how they try to get people to take action, like donate or volunteer. Okay. How do they keep people coming back? Do they have loyalty programs, personalized content, email, newsletters? How do they stay in touch after someone interacts with them? And what kind of content do they create? Blogs, videos, infographics? Or how do they tell people what they are good at? Okay. How do they use social media? How often do they post? What kind of content do they share? How do they interact with their followers? And the last one, how do they turn visitors into donors or volunteers? Okay, look at their call to action, their forms, okay, and how they guide people through into the process. Okay, this is all about seeing what is working for them, so you can apply those lessons, okay, to your website. And then, of course, you need to track your process. Okay, set up Google Analytics and Google Search Console. Set clear goals and monitor your results. Now, if you don't have Google Analytics, okay, set up in your on your website. Okay, if you have never really played around with it, here's a very cool way you can still get some experience. Google actually lets you use a Google Analytics account for their own online store, the Google Merchandise Store. Here you have. And it's this website with tons of traffic and loads of data. So it has really complete analytics. The great thing about this is you can click around, okay, and explore their Google Analytics account without worrying about breaking anything, okay? And you can learn a lot of uh, things, okay, by seeing how they track things. Here is the link, so you can check it out. Here you have the complete data. Okay, this data is from a Google Merchandise Store. Okay, and you can go for all the pages without fears. Okay, and you can see all the data. Okay, SEO is an ongoing process. Regularly update and your website's content, monitor technical performance, and adapt your strategies based on industry trends and changes in search engine algorithms. You need to keep up with the latest trends and adjust your strategy as needed. Keep an eye on industry news, sectors, news, and search trends. And don't be afraid to experiment. Very important. And finally, I want to give you a final task, something you can work on over the next few days. It's a really practical way to put everything we have talked about into action. And we are going to do a throughout SEO review of your website using this checklist. It is designed to give you a clear step-by-step guide to improving your online visibility. Okay, here you have the checklist, okay, and the explanation of this topic. You have too much homework. So just to quickly recap this task we have talked about in this webinar. Task 1, create a list of 10, 15 keywords to your website. Task 2, inspect how you can see your web in different devices with developer tools. Task 3, prepare a small competitor analysis by answering a few key questions. And the final task, enhance your NGO's online visibility by conducting a full SEO review of your website using the checklist. Okay. If you have any questions about any of these points, please don't hesitate to reach out to the coordinators. We will get back to you as quickly as we can. So, before we wrap things up, I want to tell you about something really, really cool, something you might not have heard of. Okay, do action events. So you have probably heard of WordCamps, right? They are this awesome conference all about WordPress, which, as you know, is the super popular tool that lets you build websites without needing coding knowledge. Okay, they are organized by volunteers, and they are really friendly and welcoming, no matter your skill level. Well, Action is like a special part of the WordCamp board. It is basically a hackathon, but for charities and not fights. Okay, the WordPress community gets together and uses their skills to build on or improve, okay, websites for organizations that really need them. Okay, during these events, volunteers work on everything from designing and developing websites to setting them up at launching them. Okay, it is a really powerful way to use your knowledge to make a difference in the world, and it is a great example of how the WordPress community gives back. Okay, you have the example. This website was created at WordCamp Vigo in last year. Yeah, this is a NGO, asteavi.org. You can check it. Okay, check it out. Okay, so thank you so much for your attention and participation today. So if anything we have talked about is unclear, or if you have any question at all, please don't hesitate to ask. I am happy to answer them. And thanks again for joining me today. Thank you.